Okay, so it's Monday, February 2nd, 6 o'clock, the Board of Public Works meeting at 965 Plain Street, and Marshfield Community Media is recording. So before we start, I just want to acknowledge that we lost a very loved and valued member of our town and town hall. Suddenly last week, Nancy Pacheca, saying that right, who was with the zoning department. And she was very nice and kind and helpful to everyone, and everybody's very sad and shocked. So I wanted to just extend condolences to her family and many friends and coworkers on behalf of the board and the department. And the wake is going to be Wednesday at McDonald Funeral Home, and the funeral is Thursday, if anybody wants to look that up.
I will say she was a very, very nice and helpful lady, very nice.
Yeah.
She will be missed.
Yes, she is very missed already. So, okay, so tonight we have, at 6:05, we have an appointment with Dominic Dyer from the Playground Committee for action items. We have Phase 1 SCADA upgrades for water, contract 2025-08. And then South Shore Consortium Roadway Management, contract SS 2026 PW1. I'm going to start bringing my glasses. Sewer assessment contract, sheet number 2026-42. And infrastructure asset management of roads, contract number 2026-43. For discussion items, we have an update on the audit, update on the playgrounds, update on scribing demo, snow budget clarification, and sewer bylaw update. And we're going to vote to accept the minutes from 2:15 to 25. And then we have superintendent's report. And the next meeting is, do we know when the next meeting is, or is it going to be announced?
I think, I don't know, I mean,
Okay.
there's that holiday, so I think probably the last Monday.
Okay, all right, we'll figure that out and it will be announced, I guess. So do I have a second?
Check.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so we don't see our appointment, so we can move to the first action item. I don't know who got that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That I will take the first action
Okay.
item. So this is SCADA. As we talked about before, supervisory control and data acquisition.
Okay,
You got that one down?
yeah, oh yeah, totally.
I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget again. Absolutely.
I don't even know if I was saying skater right.
No, you said it right, yeah. So this is for the water department. As we talked about before, that is the computer software program that kind of is the brains behind all the controls, all the different pump stations, all the tanks, all the pumps. So we need that upgraded. Basically, we have a system that is like 25 plus years old. So we've been looking at how do we upgrade it. So what we're looking at now is kind of a phase 1 upgrade. What we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the computers. I mean, we were running on old software that we can't even upgrade anymore. So we're going to replace that with a new computer with backup power. We're going to have another PLC in a SCADA room that's separate. Right now the computer's sitting on the supervisor's desk, so we want to have it accessible to everyone. And then we're going to have a dialer that's cellular versus the hardwired ones that we have. So we've been working with Woodard & Curran, they're the same contractor that we use with all of the wastewater SCADA controls as well. In 2023, at the annual town meeting, we asked for $150,000 out of the enterprise fund to do the SCADA replacement. What we have actually started to do is we had Woodard & Curran go ahead and look at it, realizing that this is a very major job. So with this scope that they have right now, which we have attached, is phase 1 of a scope. And that scope was over $250,000. So this is the first, basically $98,000 to do this initial one. We're going to continue to ask for additional funding so we can get through this, but this will be the first step of it. So we've used Water and Current for many years at both the wastewater treatment facility, and recently we've had them looking at these water systems. They've done a really good job for both of the enterprise funds, and we recommend awarding this task one to them for $98,010.
What is it, so what is the phase one, and then what will the next phase be?
So the
How
next
many phases are there? I'm just curious.
Three. Eventually, the biggest one, the next one is actually some additional panel upgrades, and then it's a radio system upgrade. So right now, it's kind of an old radio that, again, is frequencies that aren't used with equipment that is antiquated. So we need to get those into current, modern equipment.
Okay,
So those are the next two phases that we'll do.
okay. All right, you have questions, John?
Yeah, where are the radios used in the vehicles? Is it handheld?
These are radios in the pump stations that are radioing back the information.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so they're wireless?
Yes.
So when it's done, it's gonna be all,
It's gonna be brought into the 21st.
Oh. the next century?
It's gonna be in the next century, yes.
Yeah.
This is previous century technology
Yeah.
that we're using.
Okay,
Maybe 50 years old,
yeah,
that pumping station.
Some of it probably is, but the computer systems are not that old. But they're certainly more than 25 years old.
yeah.
So this is everything we're supplying, nothing happens with the IT?
No,
Good, okay.
Okay,
Because we have a charge on the indirects that I could look at. I wish Shaughnessy was here, I'll have to wait on that.
okay. All right, okay, so then?
Yeah, go.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the motion is to award the water SCADA upgrades, contract number 2025-28 to Woodward and Curran of Providence, Rhode Island, for a lump sum fee of $98,010, and to authorize the chairman or designated member to execute the contract documents when they have been prepared.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Hello. Hi, and here at our appointment. You can come on up. Dominic, right? Dom- Or,
Megan
no.
and Colleen.
oh, okay,
We're
is
filling in
Dominic,
for
is you're filling in for her? Okay, come on up front. They're filling in for
Well, I
Dominic.
guess we're not filling in, we're just,
Oh,
we're also
We're
representatives.
representatives.
okay,
She couldn't make it.
all right, so you're gonna take the appointment, is
Yes.
what I'm asking. Okay, perfect. Have a seat. Colleen and
Megan.
Megan, right, Colleen and Megan.
My neighbor.
And you're here, you're here for our appointment. So whenever you're ready, take your time, get your coat off if you like. I'll just- Nice to see you both. Thank you for your work on playgrounds.
Thank you. We're just trying to get some things together.
Good,
Yeah,
awesome.
and so, do you want me to start?
Whenever you're ready.
So what.
You just have to say your name and address if you
Oh,
like.
I'm sorry.
Or you can say playground.
Megan Nyland, Playground Committee, 9 Liberty Road.
Okay.
So we came tonight, to discuss with you what we need for the town playground, and what they would like,
Okay,
as far as like what they wanna see fixed, what they wanna see added, it's kind of like a list, and then we can kind of go from there.
okay,
So we can kind of pick and choose what
Right.
we best.
okay.
Yes. So we've met with all the elementary school principals and custodians so far. So we're missing who the contacts would be for the town, like
Yeah.
the library plaza, playground, and tower app.
Yeah.
And we're not sure if we're supposed to do Matty Case.
I'll just speak up a little louder if you can.
Oh, Matty Case playground
Okay,
in the Rexton parking lot.
okay.
We were unsure if that was under our umbrella.
They can drive.
I think that's I think that's a private, but, do you know,
I don't.
Ken, Matt? No, I think, it's never been mentioned in any of the other meetings that we had, so, and I don't think it was in Andrew's report, although I don't remember that it was.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I can double check though. What was in it? Hey, how are you? What was the playground?
Matty Case.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
That's private.
Yeah.
I'd rather them come
Yeah,
to
because it
our
has
meeting.
sand, like, they don't have to, do the same regulation.
right, I
Actually,
think that's,
the Rex and Beach one I think wasn't
It was?
I
Okay.
believe so.
All right, well,
I was in the report, I don't know if that means that it's under our jurisdiction, but I know that it was something that Andrew, I think, did include
Okay.
in his report.
I can't remember. Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
there was, it's a
I'm
lengthy report,
certainly,
so.
yeah, certainly following your lead on that. So do you have, like, lists for us or anything, or what exactly are the questions?
So
Or,
that's kind of, Sean originally told us to do this route, to come back to you guys, to
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
see who we should contact, I think, to give you a list of what the needs are for the schools.
okay,
For instance, like the basketball hoops, I know there was some money, aside to do some replacements of rims, baskets, whatever they needed, so we do have a list of that, so I don't know if that's something we should
Yeah.
forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
Matt's been working on that, so you
Yeah.
can give this stuff to either Matt or myself.
Okay.
Just an update from us, and we had on here an update on playgrounds anyway, so
Right.
maybe we can just make this a group
yeah,
setting.
we'll bring that in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's okay with you, we'll
Oh, absolutely.
make that as part of this discussion.
Yeah.
So we did go to the town meeting in October, and we did ask for some money, so we did get that money. So we have 75,000, we spent $800 or something, so we have,
Yes, that was the funding,
so we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
74,000.
funding for maintenance funding.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did, yeah, we got, it was like $850 for some broken piece of equipment that we did fix at, Library Plaza.
Okay, yep, and that's
So-
specifically for maintenance, that
Yes.
75,000.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because we can't use the CPC money for maintenance. Now, some of the basketball hoops, the backboards, we can use some CPC money because that's new equipment. So
Yes.
we have to kind of blend where we get the money from to do the work. So yes, absolutely, we're looking for help from you to determine what's the priority, where do you need to have this money spent?
You can get money from recreation.
From recreation as well?
Yeah, recreation's a 53 F and a half. All the fee money stays in recreation. I attended a number of their meetings where they had $400,000 in their coffers. And they spent, the board could vote and they could spend it on recreation, and now you mentioned the basketball hoops.
Mhm.
They, one of the projects they did, a small one, I attended their meetings for about a year. Down at the Rexham Beach parking lot, they used to have 2 hoops, but now there's 1, but the original 2, that was recreation. They spent them, I think it was somewhere around 12,000. So there is money in recreation that the recreation commission can vote. I was right there attending their meetings.
Okay,
You can,
I'll reach out to them.
reach out to recreation, because you can look up, Sharon, maybe you could find, well, I could find it too, but
Sure.
what they have in their coffers, it's in the annual report or whatever, and it would be quite a bit. Because what was happening, they weren't at 53 F and a half, they were taking the fee money, the parents were paying for, the trips and whatever else they had paid for. And they actually were sending it back to the general fund. I was the one who caught it. I said, why are we sending fee money the parents have paid for and putting it in the general fund? It was a backdoor fee to the general fund. So what happened was we called for, myself and another neighbor called for a special town meeting. We had 200 signatures, and we tried to change it from to a F and a half, where all monies stay in that program. And it didn't pass that particular meeting, but it passed that very next April, which was probably 3 months away. They were really pissed off that we had 200 people in that special town meeting. Well, I had 200 friends, so why not? No, I mean,
That's
it's the way-
200 friends.
No, well, that's how that's the way you do it. I mean, you gotta fight fire with fire. Send it back fee money to the general fund, I know who was doing it, I did a freedom of information request. It was a lot of money that could have gone for recreation. And so I attended the meetings to make sure that, they wanted to put a generator at Coast Guard. And the excuse was it was a emergency center. But I talked with the fire chief and it wasn't. And then they said they were losing power over the years, so I called the power company. Took a while. They haven't lost power in 10 years. You know, $50,000 for a generator. They voted against, the Recreation Commissioner wanted it. So if you check it, this is a pile of money right there.
So Ken, you, or Sharon, one of you guys, or one of you three will look into if they have available funds that
Sure.
we can
Yeah,
access.
yeah, and I'm not sure if, I think that would be great for, the ones that aren't on schools. But I don't think
Yeah,
the ones for schools, we would probably want to use our CPC funding. I
right.
would imagine. I don't know how that works, but I guess we can look into that and see if.
We'll take all the money we can get.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
I'll say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Ask Ned Banks. He was the recreation director.
Mhm.
He knows all about it, because he was the one sending the money.
Do you have a priority list? Just a minute, please. Do you have a priority list for everything? Is it prioritized by, do you have it listed by priority that they want,
By school.
whatever they want done first for each location?
We started that, and basically, the last meeting, we decided to each become a liaison for each elementary school.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we were all supposed to reach out to our schools, which I know I did, and just to clarify, at least the basketball hoop part. And then going forward, I know a few structures they wanted removed and things added, so I guess it's in the works. But we have a list going so far, like I have a Google Drive,
Yeah.
adding information as we get it.
Okay.
Shared, I believe it's shared with Mr. Sullivan and Tom Miller.
Okay,
Because at our meeting, they wanted to be included with all of our stuff.
okay. So you're kind
You
of
want
still in
access to
process
that
of
as well.
figuring out what the priorities are gonna be. So you
Yeah,
have a
well,
list
I-
of what they want, and you're
Yes.
figuring out what the priorities are gonna be for
Yeah,
each school?
where to go next with
Okay.
the information that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's a good way to, and I had sent an email, I think it was with Dominique, she had asked about the hoops, and that's when I had emailed her and I asked, if you could get a prioritized list together, because we did meet with CPC and they gave us a certain amount of funds that we can use for these basketball hoops. So we need to kind of prioritize and figure out, we can knock them off the list as long as there's a prioritized list. We can start from the top and make our way down until we run out of funds and
Yeah, so if
try
you
and get
could-
as many as possible.
So I think you're doing a great job. If you could finish that task, just because if you give us the list now, we might miss somebody who's got a higher priority because they haven't given you the information yet. So get all the sources together and then get us the priority list, and then we'll get back to you with what we have for funding and how much of the list we can get done.
And in the meantime, they'll look into the recreation and
Yes.
see if there's funding there.
Yes.
Yeah, I did look on the Mass State vendor list for buying hoops, backboards, hoops, and the poles.
Okay.
We would prefer to keep any poles that we can because it, triples the price if we need to replace the pole. So that'll make our money go a much longer way, but I already have some vendors on a list that I can reach out to once we get that list together.
Great,
And we can start ordering them.
okay. And then there was something about Library Plaza?
I have a question.
Oh, you're sorry, he has a question.
On the CPC, we're past September, so it would be till next September?
No, we met with CPC about our existing
Oh, you did, and,
accounts
Okay,
and
all right.
what could be used for what, and
All right.
there was an account that had,
you've set something up?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
Yes.
fine,
Yeah, it was the money we got last year.
yeah, Okay.
Yeah, it's not, I don't even think it's that
Some
one.
of it was even earlier than
From,
that.
and then there was money that we had from before,
Yes.
Yeah.
from before that.
So it's money from
Right.
before that could be used for basketball hoops.
Okay.
Cause I would like to not touch our,
The
our
resurfacing,
ADA
yeah.
playground, the surfacing account, because that stuff's expensive.
Right, okay, good, good. All right, yeah, so this is the money that we had already from before,
Yes.
that, we've mentioned that in previous meetings,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, we met with CPC, me and Ken did, and, just kinda went over all of our outstanding accounts so we can try and use it all up,
Good,
so.
great, okay. That answers your
No,
question?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
fine.
And did
Thank you.
you have something about library plaza too that you,
Yeah, I
because I
think,
know somebody had emailed,
oh,
and then I sent it to Jim, I think.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're looking for who is the contact, for that playground, in the Tower Ave playground, if there's any. I know they raised money, I think, to build them, right? Email all the names on.
Yeah.
To see what they need, or,
Or is it
Oh,
just
who's
something
kind of
that-
in charge of figuring out what those need?
yeah,
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question, because
Tower Ave and the library.
Yeah,
I think Tower Ave had their own committee.
they don't, yeah, so, you guys are, I think you guys, because, the committees that built those playgrounds aren't active, they haven't been active in a long time. So we are going to eventually get around to the Tower of Field. Whatever we're gonna do with that,
Mhm.
which we have 3 residents that were, had decided to be on it. Jim is one of them, actually, and then 2 other residents for the field, but that's not the playground. So those playgrounds are town playgrounds, so they come under the playground committee, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think
Mhm.
there is any other
Okay, so it's not-
people in charge of those
Okay.
at this point, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's you guys,
I would say
Yeah.
that you guys would definitely be
right?
able to make your own decisions on the Tower Ave one. The Library Plaza, I'll have to double check, just because when we were getting stuff fixed for there was a lot of confusion, because we still haven't been able to set up our system yet, that, people are reaching out to facilities, people are reaching out to recreation, and nobody knew who
Yeah,
was in charge. So,
right, which is
Uh.
why we kind of pushed the idea of the playground committee,
Yeah.
because there wasn't anybody in charge of them, in
Right.
charge of,
Yeah,
and then with the schools, it was confusing, because was it the custodians or the principal, or who,
Mhm.
Well,
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, when, I think that especially Library Plaza was turned over to the town, like there was that committee that built it and raised funds and all that, but I believe once they disbanded, they turned it back, they turned
Yeah.
it to the town.
Yeah, so it was just
Okay.
really building it that
Mhm.
they took ownership of, and then once it was done, it was done. Yeah, there was a question, yes,
Thank you, Chair Diane. Eric Kelly, Peterson Path. As far as I know, the Library Plaza is under the control of the Recreation Department.
okay, we'll find out.
Anytime I had any issues, it was always directed to them, to Craig James.
Yeah,
He was one that's supposed to take care of it. They're the ones that have oversight of the.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that, the CPC funding, everybody keeps referring back that you can't use it for maintenance. You can use it to replace swings and such things like that. You can't do it for like mulching and all that. But keeps coming back. Every time I bring it up, it's like, well, you can't do it for maintenance. No, if you read the law, you can put in for CPC to replace swings, pieces of equipment like that.
okay,
So, it's, if everybody's looking at, different avenues of funding, CPC can be used for different, things like that in regards to swings and stuff like that, so.
we'll make sure we get very clear answers on what portion of replacing things we can use that for, or what would be considered new or maintenance.
Yeah,
So we'll double check on that.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
I think that the playground committee, they wanted to delve into it. I think they come up with those answers themselves as well.
Yeah, between all of us, I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I think we can fix existing structures with that funds, those funds. We wouldn't take them down and put new ones up, but those funds would allocate money to us to fix what's currently there. I think that's what we talked about when we were in the meeting.
Yeah, so we won't discuss, we won't get into the details of that, because we'll leave it to the CPC, to talk with you guys and talk with, Matt and Ken and figure out what exactly can be used for what.
Well, this is the law too.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. So, okay, and anything else?
One more comment in
Yeah.
regards to something Matt said. We do have an email, excuse me, a playground committee email the town made.
Oh, good.
It's supposed to circulate to us. I gave all the names to IT.
Okay.
It doesn't work. It only sent to, at least Andrew Stewart is the only one who replied, when
Oh.
I tested it.
Okay.
But if
Oh, no, I
if
got
we
it.
could
I
do,
didn't reply, I got
oh,
it.
you did? I didn't get it. But if there's a way to maybe add, we talked about signage, I know we talked about that
Yeah.
before, and at least that could be a contact, that email circulate to us,
Okay,
the library or Tower app, if the library were allowed.
yeah, I think, so we need to figure out the bugs in your email and make sure that that's working properly, and then we can, yeah, I think signage is specifically mentioned in our ADA playground, CPC funding. So we can use that money for some signage,
Calling, if you wanna give me the emails, I'll talk to you and find out.
Okay.
Yeah, just give it to me, who they should be going to.
Thank you.
Is there another playground up in Eastwood near the firehouse?
There's a firehouse playground, yeah,
Is
I
that
think that,
town owned? Okay, let's look into that one too.
it's like it's a little one,
Yeah.
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 I think Andrew had it on his,
Old Main Street, I
Yeah.
believe.
yeah.
You too warm?
Oh,
I'm all right. It is warm in here.
it was cooler out here.
Thanks, Chairman.
if a lot of the schools are looking for the same type of, things to fix, do you want us to say they all, what can we do, what are we doing? Are we trying to like fix like the pavement or anything like that with the schools, or is it, what exactly are they, what are their wants? Sorry, I
There's
didn't read yours.
each school has their own tab. I'm not sure if it's printed, you probably did, but that's something I can share.
Okay. If we wanted to do everything at the same time, it's easier for the town to like do, check all the boxes at the same time, if they want some other things, but it's not exactly listed in the same order.
I would say that'd be up to you
I
guys,
would,
right?
I would think that the easiest way to do this would be if they just got their list of ranked in their priorities,
Mhm.
and then we could kinda, even if this one's low on the list, say that swings is number 4, but swings is number
Yeah.
1 on these 2 schools, then we can
Let's
just
do it, yeah.
kind of do them all together. I mean, we don't, it's a recommendation. We, as far as I'm concerned, they're gonna say what they want, but ultimately, it's gonna go what we can do for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna wanna try and, knock off the highest priority things, but if it makes sense to kind of jump around, then we can approach it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
As long as they give us their priorities, we can work off that.
Right.
That would be probably the easiest way, just the same way that we had asking you guys for the, priorities of the basketball hoops and stuff like that. I think that's probably the best approach.
Yeah, sorry, I had said Library Plaza, but it was Ames Way. So I sent that message, it was a message I got through Facebook from a resident. So I don't know if you guys got that, did Jim circulate that
Yes.
to you? Okay, were you able to speak to
The
that
school
person and
didn't
figure out what
know.
they?
The next step was reaching out to the parent.
Okay, all right, okay, so you have this message from Hannah? Was
I
from-
don't, but Jim did, yes.
Okay, all right. Should I forward it to the whole list of,
Yeah,
or do you want me to?
Sure.
Okay, but your town email's not working, right?
I didn't get it, but
I got it, Andrew got it. He left Julian and.
What is the town email? For the Triton, you know, off the top of your head?
I think it's playgrounds@townofmarshfield.org. There's two, and they said use the easier one, that they recommend, so.
There's two
They create.
that are active, or they gave you two options for names, and,
I don't know exactly.
okay.
I think they're
So
both
it is playground at townofmarshfield.org.
Playground, no S,
Playground, no,
playground. Okay, so if I send this message to that email, at least somebody, one of you guys will get it, right?
Yeah.
You'll get it, Megan, you think? Okay, I'll send it. And then I'll just send it to the rest of the email addresses that I have on the list. Just so that it'll go to everybody, hopefully.
yeah.
Okay, great, and then you can look into that. That was Ames Way, I had library blaster in my head, so. Okay, all right, so anything else? Okay.
I do have one more thing, because that got me thinking, when we finish a project here, like, we're we supposed to have somebody inspect it to make sure things were done right? I know there's.
That was Sean's big thing.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I'm still missing, because for whatever reason, we haven't been able to have somebody be the playground inspector.
Yeah,
right? So I don't know who that is.
so I don't know why, so I haven't been able to talk to Andrew about that, but I think that, well, he was very willing and able to do the playground inspector thing, but I think something came up with regard to, he couldn't do it the way, it wasn't gonna be so simple because of the union. Do you remember
I
that?
think it's in process.
Yeah, it is
He
a
still
process.
wants to do
Okay.
it. and
Yeah, no, he
we want
wants
him
to.
do it, so it's just a matter of crossing the i's and dotting
Okay,
the t's,
so there was some
so to speak.
more details, red tape, that
Okay.
we weren't aware of, I guess, so. But yeah, hopefully by the time things are done, that will have been completed. Everything takes a long time.
Great. Well,
Unfortunately.
thank you.
So hold on
Appreciate it.
while we do a playground update with
Did
Superintendent
you have
and Matt.
anything else, Matt?
Yeah, let me just go through here, let's see, I was in contact with you guys and, waiting on that list, the ranked list of the basketball hoops. Let's see, the next thing that I wanted to dive into over the summer, cause obviously school playgrounds really can only be done in the summer, is, South River School Playground. I had some survey work done over there, and I confirmed that the existing concrete pathway over there is actually ADA compliant. It just doesn't lead to anywhere, so the ramp itself is ADA compliant, so we don't have to rip that out or anything. We just need to extend it, so that's good, because that, if we had to rip that out and replace it, that would have been pretty pricey, so, I think once the snow is gone, we'll have to have a meeting with the playground committee on, getting their thoughts on what we can do to consolidate, because we're not gonna be able to surface that whole thing. That area is massive, and, I think a lot of the equipment's very spread out. Looking to, moving the smaller pieces closer together, and I think potentially maybe even separating it into two different age groups. We have the space for it, so I think it would make sense to get a path that goes to the middle, and then you either go to the left if you're in this age group, and the right if you're in this age group.
Mhm.
And I think that would be a good way to approach that, but I can work that out with the playground committee, and we'll just have to try and schedule a time to go out there, and I think the list that you guys are getting together will be very helpful as well, but I would try and keep in mind that we're, whoever is your liaison for that school, that, that's gonna be probably next on the list to do in the summer, so if they have,
They have extended year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know that that's a heavily used playground, and it's used basically year-round. So we'll have to work that schedule out, but we're gonna need to get a plan together before we even think about that anyway,
Mhm.
so. And I think that's about it. Oh, I had received an email from Dominique about some missing fence over at Martinson and potentially closing off some gates.
Mhm.
I know that there's a bunch of gates over there. I don't even know if they have gates. I think they're just kind of openings.
Yeah.
So I reached out to CPC to see if I could use the funding for this, and since it would be, fixing and maintaining that fence, that we wouldn't be able to use our funding. So, I will reach out to the facilities, department and tell them, there's some broken fence that's a safety concern that needs to be fixed. But I would like to get, those gates that you think would wanna be closed, so I could
Yeah.
add that into, so I'm not reaching out twice.
It's not good over there,
Mm.
yeah. And that, janitor over there is wonderful. He knew exactly what he wanted, where he wanted to put it, and he's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he hasn't, do you know, have you talked to him, or do you know?
I have not, no.
Definitely
Okay.
want to talk to you over there.
Oh, okay, maybe, do you know who that is? Do you have his contact?
I went around to all the
Oh, okay.
playgrounds
Yeah.
on the same day, so the names are all jumbled
Maybe
together,
you
but I've
could-
met him
I
before.
can find out today.
Maybe you could, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
or-
maybe get an email from him with what he's thinking of photos
Okay,
and send it.
Yeah.
Oh,
to
yeah,
Matt.
he knew before we even got there what he wanted, so it was
He
great.
did?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, even if you could just, if he wanted to just send an aerial and circle the gates that he wants
Mhm.
to be fixed or closed off, or we can actually put a gate in there or something, whatever he would like. I think there's a aerial photograph would be easier for me to send over to facilities and say, this is exactly what they want.
So the fences are okay, but the gates are not.
There was
Okay.
one
There's
section,
a couple,
yeah, there's,
one goes into the woods and it's completely broken.
Oh,
it looks like, Dominique had sent me a photo, and there's a section of fence that looks like it's just missing, and
Yeah.
they've just been putting snow fence up.
okay,
And then the snow fence falls over and they gotta keep putting it up,
And it
so.
goes into other people's yards.
okay.
So I think we need a more permanent fix on it. But that
Okay.
should, I think, would be a facilities thing. Cause we can't, like I said, I asked CPC if I could use our funds for that, but since it's a fence that we're fixing,
What if you did,
it's.
so would you take the whole thing down and replace it and be able to use
I-
CPC? Or is it not worth it if some of it's usable?
I mean, I think we probably could do a whole new fence, but,
You don't need it.
If you don't need
Yeah.
it, I don't know
yeah,
what
and
kind of shape
I
it's in.
think that we're looking at down the line doing some major renovations over there.
Okay,
And I think that we would just wanna loop that.
yeah.
Loop that.
Okay.
Question for Mary.
Okay, question?
Yes, Eric
Yeah.
Kelly, Peterson Bat, thank you again, Chair Diane. Did I hear that DPW is holding CPC money?
Holding?
Yes, in possession of CPC money that was previous projects that were left over?
There's CPC money that was authorized that hasn't been spent
Authorized for,
for various projects, whether it's fields or fences or various things.
for previous articles, town
Yes.
articles?
Yes.
Can I have the board send me those articles for what those monies left over?
I don't even know when was it? Do you know?
Well, they should know because they're holding money from it, it sounds like to me. How much money are you guys holding right now in CPC funding?
Well, I don't like the term holding. I mean, there was money that was authorized, we haven't spent it yet. We can get you the list if the board wants me to.
Yeah,
No,
we will try to track that down, I guess.
No,
and-
I have the list. I mean,
Okay.
that's why we met with CPC, because we wanted to clarify some of these accounts where there was money left. We want to use all the money that we have.
And they approved it.
And
Yes,
yes,
they
that's
approved
what
that
we're-
last year.
that's what we're discussing, is to make sure
Right.
that we're using it in the way that the town voted to have it used.
Right, so,
I'm under the impression, and I could be wrong, but I'm under the impression that there was money put forward to certain projects at a dollar amount. And it sounds like that those projects were completed or not been done yet. I mean, if there's money left over,
incorrect.
But Matt,
what is it?
There's not, some of the CPC accounts aren't for a specific place. They're for, hey, you know, fences around town need to be fixed, or we need to add fences, you know, to make fields or schools safer. So we get the funds and then we use them as we can to, you know, yeah, it's an ongoing thing. It's not just a, you know, you're using it for this specific site. Because whenever we use something, you know, and we're done with it, and we have money left over, then it goes back to CBC.
I don't know, it sounds confusing to me. It sounds like there's money in the bank that hasn't been used. It sounds like for other projects. I would like to get more information on it, please.
So we get enough information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was my last thing, was the fence at Martinson. If you guys could just get me that info that we discussed, and then, yeah, and then I can forward that over to facilities. And we can get that in the works.
Thanks for having us.
Is that it? Well done?
That's it for my update.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your work.
Thank you.
Don't forget recreation.
We will.
Believe me,
Use all the money we
you're
get.
talking,
Plan to. Thank
you're
you
talking
so much.
hundreds of
Thanks.
thousands of dollars. Believe me.
All right, so we're gonna move on to South Shore Consortium, roadway management contract, SS 2026 PW1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to do that, Ken? Consortium?
Yeah, go ahead, you do that one.
So, we are requesting approval to extend the current roadway management consortium contract. The DPW, we've been part of the South Shore Consortium for years, and, you know, it's a annual contract that's done by the Metropolitan Area Planning Council on behalf of the South Shore Regional Services Consortium. So we need to request an extension that would be valid through the end of this year, so December 31st, 2026. They recently just rebid, and TL Edwards was the apparent lowest bidder. Included their updated pricing in the agreement. Funding would come from, you know, various articles, enterprise accounts, state funding, depends on what the project would be. And we recommend awarding the extension of this contract to TL Edwards through December 31st, 2026.
What's this for?
It's for roadway management, so
Construction materials.
construction materials and stuff for, you know, typically what we have used them in the past for would be, you know, during our paving projects. They have line items in there for, you know, raising structures and if the structure needs to be rebuilt and stuff like that.
And the actual asphalt.
And, yeah, and,
So it sets a fee that we can pay to get the asphalt that we need.
yeah, so that we don't have to go out to bid on all these projects every single time. We're part of this consortium where the consortium goes out and gets all these prices for us so that we don't have to. We can just say, hey, we're gonna use these prices and we're gonna
And that's his list.
We're
the
gonna
bid
build
price
the road.
form,
Yes.
Where it has all the prices of everything on it. That's the consortium prices.
Are
Yes.
they good
Okay.
prices though? Are they, anybody take the prices?
Yeah, they went out to bid on these, so these are the low prices that were bid. And then we're not locked into it. If we felt that we could get a lower price, we're
Okay.
always available to go ahead and
Yes.
do it on our own.
It's not
So-
exclusive.
So you want our support
To,
purchase from them?
yes, we just want, yeah, support to get an extension for the consortium.
So we will have a contract with them that says that we can buy these materials at these prices.
At these prices,
And if we
right.
choose to use them, then we choose to use them.
Okay, so,
Yeah, and there's quite a few bidders on here on the list. Okay, any other questions about that?
well, I'm fine.
The list, this
You need a motion?
form is a little blurry, but I get the point. I got a motion, so So the motion is to award contract SS 2026 PWI South Shore Consortium Roadway Management to TL Edwards of Avon, Mass. Through December 31st, 2026, and to authorize the chair or designated person to execute the contract documents when they've been prepared.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I understand that now, yeah.
All right, so we have the sewer assessment contract 2025-42.
The sewer infrastructure assessment, contract 2026-42.
Yeah, is that what it's,
2025, I got.
20, oh, I have 2026-42. Right here?
I think it's a typo on the cover sheet, John.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think it should be
Okay.
2026.
2026.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Good catch, though.
I don't even
How about that?
know how you can see it. See it. All right, anyways, who's taking this?
Okay.
About that.
That's me. So we have done a bunch of sewer expansion studies over the years. We expanding into the sewer system into Blackmount, into Kent Park, and we also recently just did one about expanding along the South River.
Mhm.
They're all in close proximity to our drinking water and environmentally sensitive areas. So we wanted to put a infrastructure assessment together that kind of loops all of these in, and it provides us with a prioritized list of recommended capital improvements projects that we can kind of plan for. So it's like a long-term plan for all of these different studies that we've done. And we Kimley Horn and Associates gave us an agreement, and it had the following tasks on it. It's a review of the existing flows into the plant. It's a review of all those future flows, as far as expansions and then any development that might be on the horizon. It's a review of the existing infrastructure to, see what kind of shape it's in. And then what we had added in here that none of these studies really looked into was an assessment of our wastewater treatment plant. So the assessment of the plant will, look into all the existing components, evaluate what the useful life is. It'll evaluate the equipment to try and prevent future failures and provide a phasing plan to expand the plan if necessary.
Is this what we discussed with,
Yeah, so at the last meeting that we had him here, he said he was looking at all the different sewer expansions that we were looking at, and we asked him to go back and say, okay, but if we expand the sewer, at what point do we actually affect the wastewater treatment plant operation?
Right.
So you can't just look at it and say, we keep expanding the sewer indefinitely.
right,
At some point, you have to stop and say, well, at this point, now you actually have to put the money into the plant itself so that it is capable of handling this increased flow.
Mhm.
So this is his re-proposal for adding that onto the scope of services that he had before.
okay. So
Yeah.
what he discussed
One,
when he was at the last meeting, he's added this piece in.
Yes.
yes,
Okay,
we
good.
added task 4 in. Originally, task 4 was not in there, and that's what we had discussed at the last board meeting that he was at.
Right.
That we wanted to look into, so he added
Good.
that, and that's this updated version.
Okay, great, perfect.
So, where's this money coming from there?
So,
We had some money for permit compliance at the wastewater treatment plant, so it's coming out of the wastewater treatment.
Okay. Yeah, and do you want to explain permit compliance and how that applies just for the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So, the total cost here is $68,650, right?
Yes.
So, but we're doing, that includes, an assessment of Black Mountain, Kent Park, and South River. So, why don't we have some monies from the general fund? I mean, this benefits the town of Black Mountain, Kent Park. Why do we, why is it always come out of the enterprise account? Why can't we share this?
Yeah, we can certainly ask the town to do that.
Well, we're always paying for it. And this is beneficial to the whole town, Black Mountain, Ken Park, South River, any other, different areas that need sewage.
And
So-
it's protective of our groundwater, which everybody drinks.
Yeah, so, we gotta stop thinking that the town's general fund is exempt from any of the, infrastructure or review of any type of the sewer flows. So what can you do do you have any meetings, with the town, Peter Moran or anybody?
We certainly will, because we're working on budgets. I'm trying to figure out how we would fit this in. So this would be, we already submitted our capital request, so it's too late for a capital request on this.
I haven't seen those capital requests with it.
Yeah, I sent you a copy of all of them. Remember that at the 5-year outlook on all capital spending?
Yeah, but I was gonna discuss some of that,
Okay.
because it included plows.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're not paying for plows anymore.
We can absolutely talk about that. Put that on, you wanna put that on the next agenda to talk about it?
Will it be in time for what you're dealing with,
I forget when I have a meeting. Do you remember when that meeting was with the capital?
It might be in 2 weeks.
I think it was like in 2 weeks.
I think that'd be
are they set for this budget, coming up, or we have?
We have to go meet with the capital committee, so I have no idea what they're gonna say.
But we also have more work we have to do on the indirects.
Yes, in the budget, yes.
Yeah, so I wanna meet with you guys and go over this.
Okay.
What's your schedule?
All right, well, can we
What's that?
feel that.
set that up after we finish this one? Because we're on this item here. So John would like to know if the general fund can kick in for this wastewater study on the plant. So when will you be able to speak to the acting town administrator about that, interim town administrator about that?
Well, we can reach out to them this week, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, one question, this Kimberly Horn, are they professional engineers? What
Yes.
What are they?
Yes.
WE and.
Yes.
And
And that was where that Bob Drake, who was here at the last
Yeah.
meeting, that's where he works.
and the discipline is
Yes.
with sewage and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I know
Yeah,
the
well,
language too.
When we talked about the plan,
Yeah.
we had a meeting with their expert on the plan, and yeah, the guy's obviously knows what he's talking about.
That's good, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm fine, go ahead.
Okay, all right, so you'll find out from, it's Peter's back, right? So you'll talk to Peter about that, and you can get back to John or bring it to the next meeting if there's a question, but I don't want to get delayed on this at all. So, is there a way, if they don't know, or they have to figure it out, or it's gonna have to go to, further meetings?
Put it in the offset.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, there has to be a way for us to be able to charge it back, because I wanna move on to this.
Yeah.
So we don't wanna delay this because of that, is my point, right?
Okay, yep.
Okay, good. So, question?
Yes, thank you, Chair Diane. Eric Kelly, Peterson Path.
Wait a second, hold on, thought just for a moment, please. We need to vote on this before you ask a question, okay? Because we were in the middle of it. So, do I have a motion on that?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it's right.
Back of the-
So we'll get it to you in a minute. So you're all set with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we get,
Yes.
anyhow, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
You want me to make the motion?
No, I'll make it. I think they understand what we're looking for, and we'll figure it out one way or another. So the motion is to award contract 2026-42 sewer infrastructure assessment to Kimley Horn and Associates of Inc. of Waltham, Mass. for a total of $68,650 based on the attached agreement, and to authorize the chair or designated person to execute the contract documents when they have been prepared.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, yes,
I do, since you put a motion forward, I gotta ask a question on it, especially with Mr. Cusick's concern. With that money you're expending, especially with Mr. Cusick's concerns, is that incorporating the money that you may or may not get for the general fund you're looking for?
I can,
go ahead, John.
so it's not out, that money's not out of the general fund, it's out of the wastewater enterprise account.
Yeah.
It's your, the fees, well, you're not paying a fee for wastewater. This is coming out of the ratepayers.
Why aren't you looking for a return on the general fund for it?
Well, it's providing good, clear information for Black Mount, Kent Park, and why do the ratepayers have to pay?
No, hold on, Mr. Cusick, before you jump the gun on me here. So the only thing is, I think that should,
Hold on, yeah, all right, go ahead, go right ahead.
what I was trying to say is that you should incorporate into the motion, you authorize it pending reimbursement from the general fund.
I appreciate your,
So-
your.
So the whole thing is that,
I can answer.
Right, yeah, I want to answer.
so I'll just let you know, I'll just let you know right now that, I won't support the general fund because the town has no money. So the whole thing is that,
Well, that's not true, the town has a lot of money.
well, if they do, please show it to me.
It will be, it's coming.
All right.
We're not delaying this study because it has to be done. And
Well, so
If-
you guys.
so we're not delaying this study because it has to be done. And so whether we can come to an agreement with the town about the, specifically with this, but also in general with the town contributing to the maintenance and expansion of the sewer system, that remains to be seen, but this study needs to get done.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing when I say I won't support it, because I just don't believe there's a necessity to expand the sewer system.
Okay, we appreciate your input. Thank you.
I didn't hear, did he say?
He doesn't think that that the sewer system needs to expand. All right, so, I guess we're gonna leave that up to the experts to decide,
Well, we're going
because that's why
offset.
we're having this
Yeah,
done.
but we're going offsets, I mean, it's a simple thing
Yeah,
to go in offset.
so,
I wish I could sit down with the rest of them, the
Yeah.
financial team, and tell you how it works.
What works?
he,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I'll
so,
tell you how the ratepayers are ended
so
up
he's,
paying for it.
he's,
I think I've been enough of your meetings to understand that, John.
all right, so we're gonna end that conversation. Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you.
We are moving on to infrastructure asset management of roads, contract 2026-43.
I can do it. All right, go for it. So the town's overdue for an updated infrastructure asset management of roads, called a master plan, in order to assess the conditions of our roads in town. It'll provide us the necessary info to kind of formulate an ongoing plan of roads that need work and what type of work they may need. So in the scope of services from Apex that they provided, they will inspect all 132 miles of roads. They use GPS, telemetry data capture technology, and they'll do front-facing and 360 photographs every 30 feet along all these roads. And what that will do, it'll create a PCI, which is a pavement condition index. It's basically, it'll rate from 0 to 100 each road. And, from all this data, it will then put them all into repair categories. I listed the repair categories in here would be, no maintenance required, routine maintenance, which would be just like crack sealing, preventive maintenance, which would be, for examples, would be like a bonded wearing course or overlay, and then minor and major rehabs. So it would give us an idea of what each road needs and give us a plan on on, how to fix them.
When was the last time something like this was done? I know it probably didn't go to this extent, but if it's been a long time, but,
It's been a while, even when Sean started this with me, and we talked about it, and he said, yeah, we're due for this, we haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
I think it might have been like pre-COVID or something.
right, okay. Do you know if any other towns have used this specific methods that they're using? Because I know Pembroke did a whole, like, assessment of their whole,
Yeah, not offhand,
System.
but I'm sure
Yeah.
Apex does this.
I'm just curious
Yeah.
if,
That's,
I just
yeah.
don't know offhand.
yeah, the people from Apex that we met with about this, that's all they do. really.
that's what they do,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I was just curious, because I know Pembroke had a major, like, assessment of their whole road system and started a bunch of work. Okay, do you have questions about this, John?
Well, they do private roads that are open to the public, such as, many subdivisions are not accepted, but we'll do those.
This time, we're really looking at the ones that the Chapter 90 funds could be used to.
Yeah,
All right,
it
that's,
says town-owned roads.
Yeah,
so-
town-owned
that's fine,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
asking.
Yeah, good question. Okay, so, I'll make the motion, if you're all set with that question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right, so to award contract 2026-43, infrastructure asset management of roads to Apex Companies LLC of Quincy, Mass. A total of $53,200 based on the attached agreement to authorize the chair or designated person to execute the contract documents when they have been prepared.
I'll second that, and that money's coming out of chapter 90?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on to discussion items. So we have an update on the audit. Where are we?
So thanks to John, he actually gave us a really good lead on somebody, so I've spoken a couple times to this person, and I have a conference call set up on Thursday of this week to go into detail about what they're gonna do.
It worked
We got
so far.
we got a person, yes.
We got a person,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yeah.
Hopefully that person
Yeah.
is the person.
They seem very professional,
Good.
so I just
Okay.
needed to get in front of somebody who's familiar with enterprise fund accounting.
Good,
So that's what the call on Thursday is about.
thank you, John.
You need help?
Thank you.
If you'd like to be there, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay, I'll be,
Okay, I'll let you know what time it is.
Great,
thank you.
awesome, thanks. Okay, we did
That's
playgrounds.
really good, I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you.
No, I appreciate it,
No,
it's
we-
very good.
John found the lead for us.
And then, so we did playgrounds, so we're looking at the update on the scribing demo.
Yes, so I believe last meeting we had discussed that we met with, with Bob Drake and his contractor that would be doing this pipe scribing
Mhm.
demo for us. And we went over an area that we would be interested in doing, and, he had kind of just given us a verbal, and it was pricey, so we had to we adjusted the scope a little bit, and, they're waiting on subcontractor pricing to see what their price comes in at, and then we'll discuss if makes sense for us to move forward with.
Okay, so you'll let us know when you get
So,
it?
yeah, they're still waiting on subcontractors, so whenever they get that.
All right, so they're gonna get an estimate and then we'll know, okay?
Once I have something in hand, we'll circle back.
Okay,
Clarification.
yep,
This is for infrastructure for our sewer. sewer line.
Yes.
Just for the
Yep, yeah,
audience that's
yeah,
watching.
pipe scribing, it's a new pipe, it's a new technology for, sewer systems.
Okay, all right, thank you.
and when you get back to us with the estimate, you'll go through the whole thing again and explain the area and why you chose that area for the demo and, so we'll get a full explanation again on that.
Yes.
So people will know what it is.
Yep.
Okay, and then we have, snow budget clarification.
So, yes, I just wanted to clarify, we had talked at the previous meeting that we were looking at, we were going to probably go into deficit spending and saw some things that it said we overspent the snow budget, so I just wanted to highlight what it is that we've been doing with our snow money this year. So we had storm events on December 6th, which was a Saturday. That was like icy conditions, so we had sanding crews out there. We had something on December 14th, which was a Sunday. We had 3 inches of snow, so we had to plow and have the sanding crews out there. December 26th and 27th, Friday and Saturday night, we had another 5 inches of snow, so we needed the sanding and plowing crews. December 29th and 30th, Thursday to Friday, we had icy conditions that required us to send the sanding crews out there. January 1st, which was the holiday, we had 2 inches of, it was a long duration storm. It took place over like 16 hours. It just would not stop. So we had crews out for quite a while at that point in time, doing sanding and plowing as necessary. January 5th and 6th, Monday and Tuesday, we had another long duration light snow that required us to have the sanding crews out there. And then the next day, basically on the 6th and 7th, Tuesday into Wednesday, we had a wintry mix that required the sanding crews to be out there. January 18th and 19th, which was a Sunday to Monday, we had 6 inches of overnight snow, so we had people in overnight and through the day sanding and plowing. January 20th, which was a Tuesday, some of that actually melted, which is probably the last time anything has melted in town. And we had sanding crews out there, and then of course we had the 25th to 26th winter storm Fern that dropped nearly 2 feet of snow on us that we're still trying to recover from. So there's been a lot of events, a lot of time. Unfortunately, if you look at the majority of these events, they've been on weekends, so it's really caused havoc with our budget. We provided this information to Peter Moran, and he went to the last select board meeting. And correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but the select board voted to approve deficit spending for the snow and ice.
You're correct about that.
Thank you.
Question.
Yep.
To any amount of money, whatever it takes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, well, you gotta recognize somebody.
Yeah, I mean, because you're not gonna put you're not gonna put a limit on how much how safe we make the roads. Question?
Eric Kelly, Peterson Pat. Thank you, Chair Diane. I do have concerns with the spending, as I myself, some of the storms watching, at least the person driving my neighborhood, and obviously I'm around the town, and just noticing how things are going and all that, especially now that we've authorized deficit spending, that there's one thing that was rolling through my head, but I would like to see if the Board of Public Works would have, be interested in this, is that, I'd like to know, like, I think that some of the storms, the guys were out there too long, because it was pretty much down to blacktop, and they're still going around plowing, in my opinion. And, and then what time they're coming in. I mean, the whole thing is that I think we need to have, due to our budget issues, especially now that we're in deficit spending, I think we need to really look at what the operations are of plowing in town, and what time guys are coming in, what time the snow falling, how long they're out there for, who's making the calls in regards to how long they stay out there and all that. And then the other thing too, I guess, is an outline of the town and what vehicles are out there plowing in different parts of town and everything like that. I think we should do an in-depth analysis of our snow budget, snow removal process along with the budget, because I do have concerns in regards to how it's being used.
I don't know how we can answer you. I think it's all for safety.
I can tell you that DPW is not gonna compromise safety.
No one's asking that.
Okay, I think that, our team has
Sorry, I think
years
that's
and
enough.
years of experience on knowing when to pre-treat the roads, when to bring the teams in, how long they should be out, when to salt, when to sand, when to plow.
Okay, so I think it's a no. That's all right. That's what I was
I'm gonna
asking.
give that as a no.
Thank you.
Appreciate the question.
I'll have to take it up at the next board meeting, that's all.
Okay. All right, so we have sewer bylaw update.
Yes, that would be me. So, we had,
What number, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
oh, that's okay.
I gotta look at the numbers.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Discussion item number 5.
It's under number 10.
10.
In your, book.
Under 10?
10,
Yeah,
yes.
under 10 in the book.
Oh, sorry, I don't have those.
Okay.
Okay.
So the concept here?
Yes, so the concept is that we are updating our sewers bylaws to match what we had put in as a ADU policy. There was some unclear language in our existing sewer bylaws, so we updated that section that I worked with Andrew. Andrew came in here and we
Yep.
discussed it, and I was emailing back and forth with him, and we came up with a updated section here, 223-5, building sewers and connections. So basically what we did is we edited that first sentence of the existing one and made it its own line, and that subsection D there essentially handles the ADU policy that we put into place. That no more than one separate and independent building sewer connection shall be provided for every lot. That has been typical practice in town for a long time, and so that's what we had to clarify that. And then the second one is just, we have these specific situations in town, subsection E, where there's lots that aren't on streets. They're kind of a lot behind a lot, but I think they've been grandfathered in because that's really new lots that doesn't happen. So this was just, still providing them a way to connect to the sewer,
To our town sewer.
to our town sewer.
Ones that are already there, basically.
Yeah, no new lot is gonna be approved that doesn't have any frontage on the street.
So it's grandfathered.
So it's grandfathered in,
But we wanted to make sure when we made changes that we weren't putting someone who's been grandfathered at jeopardy. So we wrote it up to be like a grandfather provision.
So they're gonna have an easement with their neighbor?
Some of them don't have easements, some of them just hook into a common sewer shared by a couple houses.
That goes into our town sewer?
That goes into our town sewer,
Okay.
yes.
Not that many anyway.
No,
No, it was definitely a good catch by Andrew there.
Yeah, that was good, and we came up with a good idea on how to
Okay.
address everything.
So that's it, just this page then?
So that's in the warrant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have to vote on it.
No, it's just
We
a
can-
discussion item, but it's just this page, those are the only changes you need
Yeah,
to make
that's it.
right there. That's
It's a
good.
good solution, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep, excellent. Okay. All right, okay, we're on to minutes, I guess. Okay, yep, I'm all set. So, make a motion to accept the minutes from December 15th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then we have superintendent's report.
along the same lines, the other thing that we had as a warrant article was, we updated the stormwater bylaws at the last town meeting. And we also had the separate article that we had that was basically like the don't discharge on your neighbors article that did not pass. So what we have now is new language to modify the stormwater bylaw that we just put out so that it includes a prohibited action of discharging water onto your neighbor.
Okay.
So we felt that was a much cleaner way to do it. So that's another warrant article that we have. We've been working with the dog park people because they're looking at some shade structures, so we've been kind of helping them out as
Thank
they
you.
are looking through it. Sure.
Thank you from my dog. They love the shade structures, the dogs.
Haven't gotten it yet, but we're working on it. We went and got a approval through the Conservation Commission for, on Plymouth Avenue, West Brook Street, we're looking at a sewer manhole, so we had to, it's within some of the buffer zones, so we had to make sure we were okay to do that.
That building?
Westbrook,
Oh, okay.
Westbrook Street, yeah. We've got a whole bunch of DEP annual reports that are due, so we're gonna be cranking out those things. And then budgets, we gotta get the budgets done, so that's what's keeping us busy,
Mhm. And snow.
and snow.
Lots of snow.
I wanna meet with the budget.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Meet this week.
definitely more heads, better. I mean, you certainly know what you're talking about.
I found out certain
Yeah.
things.
So, okay, all right, I think we're done, right?
That's all I
I'll
have,
make a
yes.
motion to, adjourn the meeting, and,
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye, we're done, thank you.